Hello, everyone. You are welcome back to Jewel's Study World. Today, our lesson will be on dimensional analysis. So, we have dimensional analysis. So, this is under physics, dimensional analysis. What can we say about dimensional analysis? It shows how a quantity relates to mass, length, and time. Dimensional analysis shows how a quantity relates to mass, length, and time. So, it is always mass, length, and time. So how it relates to mass, length, and time. So let me write it here. So we have dimensional analysis shows how a quantity relates to mass, length, and time. So how any given quantity relates to mass, length, and time is termed as dimensional analysis. It's termed as dimensional analysis. Okay. So let's say we have any quantity like let's say volume. So let's say volume. So volume is a quantity. And note, when you say a quantity relates to any physical property of a substance that can be measured. Let's say we have mass can be measured, volume can be measured, we have area can be measured. So any physical quantity of a substance that can be measured is termed as a quantity. Yes. So now we have volume as a quantity. So let's say, so we are saying that dimensional analysis shows how a quantity relates to mass, length, and time. So let's say we have the quantity here to be volume. So it shows how this volume relates to mass, length, and time. Let's say we have a quantity like area. So it shows how this area relates to mass, length, and time. That's it. So now we have some of the uses of dimensional analysis. But before we go there, let's see this. To find or to show that you want to find the dimension of any given quantity, you have to put that quantity in a square bracket. Here is a square bracket. So this square bracket in this topic means that it means dimension of. So when you see this square bracket, it means dimension of. So if I write here mass, it means that the dimension of mass. If I write here volume, it means that the dimension of volume. So to find the dimension of any given quantity, you have to first put that quantity in a square bracket like this. Now let's find the dimension of some quantities. Let's say our first quantity here is area. So also note that to find the dimension of any given quantity, you have to know the formula for that quantity. Yes. So for area here, the formula for area, it can be the area of a square, area of a triangle, area of a rectangle. They are all area. So any of them. So let's say the formula here for area is length times length. Sorry, length times length. And this is the area of a square. Yes, length times length. But before I come here, note that the dimension, the separation between any 2 points, or separation or any distance, any measurement in the form of distances, all have dimension of capital L. Let's say we have length, distance, displacement, height, radius. We have height, radius, circumference, perimeter, width, breadth. We have many of them, etc., among others. All of these are separation between 2 points, and they all have dimension of capital L. They all have dimension of capital L. So all of these quantities have dimension of capital L. So if you see any of them, length, distance, displacement, height, radius, circumference, perimeter, width, breadth, etc., note that the dimension is capital L of any of these. Now we have here, and also the dimension of mass, the dimension of mass. So the dimension of mass here is capital M. The dimension of length is capital L, and dimension of time is capital T. So put the quantities in square brackets before you write the dimension. Now, to find the to find the dimension of area, you have to first find the formula for the area. So here I chose the area of a square. So it is length times length. Now, here is the dimension of area is equal to the dimension of length times the dimension of length. So now we have the dimension of length to be L, the capital L. So we have L times, here you have L. So now L times L gives us L squared. This is from indices. You have same basis. So take one of the bases and add the exponent. You have 1 plus 1 giving us 2. So this gives us L squared. So the dimension of area here is L squared. Now let's see. I chose the area of a square and I had L squared. You can also take the area of a triangle. Let's say we have area to be half times base times height. This is the area of a triangle. Half times base times height. Now, the half here, note figures, numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decimals, fractions, they are all dimensionless. They have no dimension. So here, the dimension of area becomes the dimension. So this half has no dimension. So the half will be eliminated. So dimension of the base times the dimension of the height. So the dimension of area becomes, note that for a triangle, the base here is also a distance. So the base has a dimension of capital L times the height. Height also has dimension of capital L. Height also has dimension of capital L. So we have length times length giving us L squared. The same as this one. Let's say you chose the area of a rectangle. So you have area to be equal to length times breadth. Length times breadth. So the dimension of area becomes equal to the dimension of length times dimension of breadth. So the length is capital L. Breadth also here is capital L, giving us L squared as the dimension of area. So any area you choose, since it is area, you have the dimension to be L squared. So the dimension of area is L squared, no matter the area of the figure that you choose. Okay. Now let's continue. So let's see our next dimension. Let's see the dimension of volume. Volume. So here, let's say volume here becomes length times breadth times height. The volume of a cube. Yes, length times breadth times height. This one too, you can take any volume of your choice. So here I chose the volume of a cube. So I have the dimension of volume to be equal to dimension of length times dimension of breadth times dimension of height. So dimension of length times dimension of breadth times dimension of height. So the dimension of length is L, the capital L. Breadth too we have L, height too we have L, giving us L cube. Let's say you choose the volume of a cylinder. Yes, so volume to be equal to pi r square h. Pi r square h. So we have this pi also here is dimensionless. Pi has no dimension. So we have v to be equal to, so pi is dimension, so the pi becomes eliminated. So you have dimension of r, then square, then you have dimension of h. So the dimension of volume is equal to, so radius also has the dimension of L. So radius you have L then square times h. H here is also height. Height is L. So L square times L gives us L cube, the same as L cube. So since it is volume, it has a dimension of L cube, no matter the figure that you choose. Now let's continue. Let's see our next quantity. So let's say let's take density. Density. Density is equal to mass over volume. So the dimension of density is equal to dimension of mass over dimension of volume. Now the dimension of density is equal to the dimension of mass is capital M. So I have M over the dimension of volume here is L cube. So I have L cube. Now I have to express the L cube as a numerator. Yes, and indices here, the L here is power 3. The 3 here is positive. So when it becomes a numerator, it becomes negative 3. Like this, I have ML negative 3 as the dimension of density. Now let's see our next one. Number 4, we have velocity. Velocity. This is equal to displacement over time. So I have the dimension of velocity to be equal to dimension of displacement over dimension of time. Don't forget to put it in a square bracket. Okay. So now the dimension of displacement here is L. So I have L over, then time is capital T over T. So I have here to be so I have to bring the t as a numerator. The t here has a power of 1. So it becomes t negative 1. T negative. So I have lt negative 1. Now let's see for acceleration. Acceleration is equal to velocity over time. So the dimension of acceleration is equal to dimension of velocity over dimension of time. And what is the dimension of velocity? I have lt negative 1. So lt negative 1 over time here is t over t. So I have to express the t as a numerator. So it becomes lt negative 1. Then the t here becomes t negative 1. So it becomes lt. So I have negative 1 plus negative 1, meaning negative 2. So I have lt negative 2 as the dimension of acceleration. Lt negative 2. So now let's continue. Number 6, we have force. Force. So what is the formula for force? I have mass times acceleration. That's why it's ACC. Mass times acceleration. So the dimension of force is equal to dimension of mass times dimension of acceleration. And mass here is capital M, and acceleration here is lt negative 2. Here is it, lt negative 2, giving me m lt negative 2 as the dimension of force. Let's see. Let's continue with dimension of, let's say, number 7. So let's see work. So work is equal to force times distance. That's why DIS, force times distance. So I have dimension of work to be equal to dimension of force times the dimension of distance. And how is the dimension of force? MLT negative 2. So I have MLT negative 2 times the dimension of distance is L. So it gives me M. So I have L times L giving me L squared, then T negative 2. So I have ML2 T negative 2, ML2 then T power negative 2 as the dimension of work. Let's continue with pressure. So I have pressure to be equal to force over area. Force over area. Let's bring it here. So I have pressure is equal to force over area. So the dimension of pressure is equal to dimension of force over dimension of area. So I have that. So the dimension of pressure, is equal to, so the dimension of force is mlt negative 2. So I have mlt negative 2, and the dimension of area we know is L squared. So it gives me L mlt. So I have mlt negative 2. Then the L here becomes L power negative 2. So I have m, then I have m L. Here I have 1 plus negative 2, giving me negative 1. Then T negative 2. So ML negative 1, T negative 2 becomes the dimension of pressure. So let's see energy. So the dimension of energy. Dimension of energy. So this one you can take any energy of your choice. Let's say the potential energy or any energy. So let's take mass times acceleration times height. As I chose the um, potential energy. So I have the dimension of energy to be equal to dimension of mass times dimension of acceleration times dimension of height. And how's the dimension of mass? We know it's capital M, and the dimension of acceleration is lt negative 2. So I have lt negative 2, and height is L. So I have m, then L, I have 1 plus 1 giving me 2, and then t negative 2. So you can see that the, the dimension of energy ml2 t negative 2 is the same as the dimension of work ml2 t negative 2. Okay, so this is the end of today's video. It will be on um, how to find the dimension of some basic quantities. Our next video will be on how to use dimensions, the uses of dimension. Stay tuned to watch the next video. This is Jewel's Steady World. Like, share, subscribe. Also, make sure to comment on this video. Bye bye.